What are your thoughts on your what's on the slide over, Henny?
All right, they got a cornerback. I don't know who the hell he is. Eric Scott Jr. from Southern Miss. So they still ain't doing shit I like. My thoughts is I definitely like the first round pick. I like Mozzie Smith. I thought he was the best one take on the board, best run stopper in the draft, period. So I like that first round pick. It went downhill from there. You know, I didn't agree with taking a tight end in the first round. And then when it got time for us to draft number two with our second round pick, Osiris Torrance was still on the board. Tank Dell was still on the board. Josh Downs was still on the board. You know, there was numerous different players we could have chosen over who we picked that would have had more value. They would have played sooner, would have contributed faster, were overall better players, had better collegiate numbers. You know, things across the board. It just didn't sit right with me. So I like Overshawn, third round pick, linebacker from Texas. I definitely like him as an athlete, a prospect, a guy that can come in and make some plays here and there. Even though I think he will only be a rotational piece right now. But then I felt like Fihoko was a reach. I do think he has a lot of potential, but I think the boy, had no more than a fifth round grade. So I'm not really feeling this year's draft. I'm usually about the Dallas Cowboys' ability to analyze and get the best player in the building, but I don't really feel that way after this draft. And listen, at the end of the day, I could be wrong. Like the Cowboy draft history, right? Because we ain't seen none of these guys play. But as of right now, April the 28th, 2023, this is some old bullshit.
Well, damn. You said a lot, right?
Yeah. So
I say this, man. Uh, the Dallas Cowboys. Listen to me. For all my young content creators out there, I think we learned. I think we learned a lesson, a very valuable lesson, and it's the lesson that. Can I say it? Can I go ahead and call myself it? Can I go ahead and say it? Big. Can I call it big West Coast? Can I?
go ahead.
Big West Coast always say, R.I.P. to Dwayne Haskins.
R.I.P. Dwayne Haskins.
The draft will always be 32 millionaires picking the guys that they want. That's what it was. This was not BPA. This was not best player available. This was not the tallest person available. How about we get the fastest guy available? None of that. This was the Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys picking players that they want, period. And that's what the draft will always be. Listen, I love doing draft content. I love looking at prospects and all that stuff. But all that stuff do is just piss me off when times like this happen. Because listen, I've been talking to guys who be on this draft stuff, be knowing who the wide receiver is at Sakamalazu State is. And we drafted 4 dudes. The homie was like, I have no clue who that is. So I'm not saying I don't trust Will McClay, but I'm also not gonna be like, in Will McClay I trust. Because guess what? Every team, every NFL team has a Will McClay, bruh. You just don't know their name. You know what I'm saying? He says big names always don't work out, but I'm gonna tell you, small names never work out, bruh. Never work out. You know what I'm saying? And yes, there are the anomalies. That's why you know more big names than you know small names. To be honest with you, there's no guarantee that anybody will work out. But that's why you have guys that go in the first round, second round, third round, and fourth round. You want to know why? Because you have guys who are projected to play better than others. And if we're not even going to use that system, why do we have a first round, second round, third round then? Why do we just get rid of it then?
Right.
Just get rid of it then.
And then listen, it's not always about, the round taken in. We got good players in certain different rounds, like Dak Prescott was fourth round pick. It's the fact, that these players that we're picking, like you say y'all trust Will McClay, he still has had duds himself. Like even when you're good at things, You know what I'm saying? And you can't say Dak because Dak was a Heisman candidate. You can't use Dak in that. Like people knew who Dak was coming out of college. You know what I mean? Just because he was a fourth round
Dak got
pick.
a DUI.
Yeah, like there was things that kept Dak from being drafted higher. So you can't even use Dak because Dak was a Heisman candidate. Right. So Tony Pollard, people knew Tony Pollard because he set the NCAA record in return touchdowns. You know what I mean? So it's not about
You guys
having a
didn't
thing.
know
Y'all
this
didn't
guy.
know, but people that are into like analyzing NCAA players and stuff like that, they knew Tony Pollard, they knew Dak Prescott. You know, hey, landlord knew to run Bland before he got picked. He beat his chest on that. He got that one right. You know what I'm saying?
And guess what? Tom Brady was a sixth round, but how many six rounds were there Tom Brady's? How many Tom Brady's have there been?
See, people
Neil Armstrong was an astronaut. Does that mean you could be an astronaut? Yeah, Tom Brady was a sixth round pick. How many Tom Brady's have there been since then? See, that's the logic that we're trying to kill with Dallas Cowboys. That's the lazy logic. That's the we're just gonna jump on board and just be happy because we're Cowboy fans and we're just gonna hope. No, bruh. We know freaking football, man. There's a reason why these guys are better than these guys. Brock Purdy don't even count. Brock Purdy played 8 total games in the NFL. Like, knock that off, bro. He started 8 total games. Somebody said, shit, how many first rounders have been bust? A lot of them. I'm going to be honest with you. How many BMWs have been defective? A lot of them. Does it stop you from buying BMWs? No.
Right. Because many first rounders you claim were bust. Y'all ain't say that about Michael Parsons, right? If we have messed that pickup and got somebody that didn't pan out.
And I'm going to keep it real with you. More second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth rounders have been bust than first rounders. You want to know why? Because a fifth rounder can't be a bust. The only person that can technically be a bust is a first rounder. Because he's really the only person that you guys even have expectations on. Nobody else has expectations.
Like Craig said, it was a weird ass draft. Like even for y'all who are die hard, the front office can't do it, no wrong type of people. You will have to admit that there was a strange draft.
It was a weird draft.
Think about this: best offensive guard available was there at 58, and you took.
You need a guard.
You know what I mean? And even if you didn't want the guard, one of the better wide receivers in the draft, Tank Dell was there. I know y'all like weapons and flashy things, right? If you wanted a weapon, you could have got Tank Dell. You could have got Downs. There were other better options that had better production in college.
Yeah, this draft, and I'm gonna tell you another thing that even if you don't like the players, like say there's better players, bro. What about positions? Like, what about the position? Why did you take a guard in an offensive lineman in the 5th round, bro? You need a starting offensive guard right now. So guess what? Your starting offensive guard is Josh Ball. He's gonna get the starting job by default. He's going to be a starting guard without having to challenge anybody for the position. If you're okay with that, then hey, that's okay with you. I'm not tripping. That's okay with you. I have a problem with that because that's not how football is.
He said, "Where landlord? Landlord already on his way back to Alabama, man. The Cowboys have stretched him out." Said the draft was super weird, but I don't love any of the picks, to be honest. I love Mozzie. I like Overshawn. And that's it.
Mozzie is the only pick that made sense. Even if you don't like the player, it don't matter if you don't like the player. Mozzie is the only position, he's the only pick that made sense. A tight end in the 2nd round, that's dumb. The only reason why I'm happy we got him in the 2nd round is because I'm happy we didn't do it in the 1st. Listen to me, drafting a tight end in the 1st round says that you don't have faith in Jake Ferguson.
Hell, drafting a tight end in the 2nd round says you ain't got faith in Jake Ferguson. Because hell, Jake Ferguson was just a 4th round pick. If you draft an offensive player in the 2nd round, you know you really want them to play. They may not be your number 1, but you expect them to contribute. You know,
Trevon Diggs started his first year.
Yeah,
second round pick.
And remember, we always expect the 2nd round pick to play. We were mad at Kelvin Joseph for not being ready to play, right? We were upset we didn't see enough of Sam Williams. He was a 2nd round pick. So the expectation for a 2nd round pick is to play. They may not be the number 1 or the full time starter, but they need to play like 50, at least like 50% of the snaps.
And then you sign Dante Fowler, re-sign Dante Fowler to draft the defensive end early.
A defensive, I
That
feel
didn't
it
make
was a
no,
reach,
that doesn't make any sense.
and I feel like it was a reach. So I think you still got 2 years of DeMarcus Lawrence. And you still got another 2 years of DeMarcus Lawrence. Sam Williams is just in his set.
Now you're going to ask this kid to come in here and beat out Micah Parsons, beat out Sam Williams, Dorrance Armstrong, guys who all have 5 and 7, 8+ sacks to get some playing time. So he's going to be a guy that you just forget about. Mm-hmm. He'll be the semi-focal of the defense. A good player, but you can't get him on the field.
If you ain't take nobody else on, not for that. Yes, it's bad. Oh, I ain't feeling none of that. Fowler has one more year. Yeah, he only has one more year, but Sam Williams has multiple years. Sam Williams has multiple years. Marcus Lawrence has multiple years.
That's why, but think about this. If he has one more year, that's why you don't draft a guy this year. Because he has one more year. And he's a veteran, bro. He's not signing to be back and he wants to play. He already wants to play.
Yeah, he's a veteran player. Kayshawn Boutte.
Barry says, man, West, chill. It's going to be okay. Yeah, I mean, okay.
It might be.
It might be.
But, as of today, it's not.
Exactly. So when it's okay, that's when we'll chill. That's like someone, chilling and the house is still on fire. No, you can't chill right now. Why? Because the house is still on fire. You got to put the house on fire.
Right, what the Eagles did in this draft. They had a good draft.
Eagles did have a good draft.
I'm not going to shit on
everything that they lost in free agency, they replaced.
No, just because I hate the Eagles good, so it's not me.
Didn't get a running back. Listen to me. You have a running back with a broken fibula. You have a backup running back in Malik Davis out of Florida, a guy I like, but I don't think he's a starting running back right now. And you have Rondell Jones, a career backup.
At least you didn't call him Rojo. Like I said, he ain't good enough to get a nickname.
Like, that's what you have at running back right now. And as of this point right now, you have not drafted a running back.
They got a tackle that can play guard. I hate players like that.
Bro, you got him in the 5th round, though. If he's in the 5th round, that means what? That means he's a 5th round at the best thing that he does.
And peep this. You already got Velasco on your team was a 5th round pick. Right? So he actually been in an all-season program, been training with an offensive line coach, all this other stuff. So he should theoretically already be ahead of the other 5th round pick that you just got. So if you're just talking about low-end guys with potential, you already had one of those on your team. You didn't need to use your 5th round pick on a potential guy because you could have just used Velasco. See, I love when y'all bring up like 1 or 2 players from the late rounds. We knew who DeRon Bland was. I don't know this man.
Yeah, man. Cowboys didn't. Honestly, I would have rather them draft a quarterback in the 2nd round than a damn tight end.
Man, as crazy as it sounds, like at least there's potential upside to that. So let me ask y'all this question: the tight end that we just got, do y'all think he's better right now than Jake Ferguson?
I don't. He's athletically not better than him.
Let me ask y'all in the chat: do y'all think the tight end that we just got is better than Jake Ferguson? Right? Answer that question for me.
I don't. Athletically,
Nope.
His numbers say that he's not. Athletically, the numbers say that he's not. Listen to me. We drafted a tight end that had 400 yards career, like that averaged 400 yards career for a season. That's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, his best season was 418 yards.
418 yards, bro, in the 2nd round, and 3 touchdowns in the 2nd round. At Michigan. Come on, bro. I ain't never had a Michigan having a high explosive offense or tight ends going to Michigan because they wanted to be athletes. Bro, come on now, bro. They go to Ohio State for that. I know for a fact the 2nd round. Listen to me. That's why when we drafted the kid, I said the best thing that the Cowboys could hope is that he can beat out Ferguson. If he can't beat out Ferguson, then bro, it was a wasted pick.
I mean, we can't beat out either one of your tight ends. We talk like Hendershot ain't. Hasn't shown flashes here and there. So and look, I'm a guy that did not want to even go with them, right? I'm a guy that would beat the tape for Dalton Schultz. So if I'm speaking highly of them, that tells you something. That should tell you something because you know how I really feel about us taking a tight end.
Anyone but SC ain't worth it. What up? What you felt? What's up, Buck Smith? Hey man, we have 500 stars, man. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting, man. I appreciate you guys. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that star button. We have 500, trying to get to 2,000. Most players that we don't know end up being really good players, though. That's not true. That's a very common statement.
Like what player that
That's not true.
and I guess it's probably people that y'all didn't know.
Those are players that you guys didn't know, and that's not a true statement.
And that's not the same thing.
Yeah, that's not.
You can't say like the late round guys that we get, right? You can't say that because
Mike White is not in the league. I mean, well, Mike White ain't on the Cowboys. Ben DiNucci ain't on the Cowboys. Ryan Russell ain't on the Cowboys. Ridgeway ain't on the Cowboys no more. Who else? Quinn Bohannon don't play. I mean, you can't. I think what it is.
And y'all hated Anthony Brown. He one of the guys you talk about.
Yeah, no. So, but I'm gonna tell you guys what happens is you guys fall in love with guys like Deron Bland, and you guys allow guys like Deron Bland to make you forget about all the 1,500 other guys. That's all it is. It makes it feel like they are, but no. It was just Deron Bland.
Donovan Wilson was a 7th round pick, and we haven't even picked in the 7th round yet for me to know if I'm gonna sit or
not. We drafted a bunch of Anthony Browns. That's funny.
We did draft a bunch of Anthony Browns, though. At least in terms of how people viewed him.
Put Steele back at right tackle.
Yeah. He go away from right tackle. No, that's a horrible thought to even move a guy who's a premier right tackle to any other position.
Oh man, out of here, bro. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm about to get on this aeroplane to go home. Next time you guys see me, I will be in Southern California, man. The draft was definitely good to us content-wise. I think we did a phenomenal job of covering it. We was at the draft 2 out of the 3 days. We was even there the day it rained. But I mean, I think we did a good job of covering the draft. As you guys can see, the draft is nothing but Kansas City fans now. But I think we did a phenomenal job of covering the draft. I just don't think the Dallas Cowboys executed well. I think this was a very arrogant draft. I think that the Cowboys, like, I get it. You have your own drafts, and you have, like, I get it. Your girl is pretty to you. You know what I'm saying? Your girl is the prettiest girl in the world to you, right? But if everybody in the world is saying your girl got a big-ass nose, she might got a big-ass nose. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to believe them, but... You know what I mean? Like,
keep it in the back of your mind.
Yeah, keep it in the back of your mind. Everybody's kids is cute to them. You know what I'm saying? But some of y'all got some ugly kids. I ain't gonna lie.
Bad too.
Bad as hell. Bad to them too. You know what I'm saying?
People when you ain't around.
For real. You know what I'm saying? You bad and ugly. You know what I'm saying? And this is what this Cowboy draft is like. Right now, I mean, we gonna have to. This is a wait and see draft. But guess what? I'm going to tell you guys why you guys know that this draft is different is because you didn't feel this way about last year's draft.
Nah. You feel like you knocked out the park last year.
Exactly. You didn't feel, think about this. You didn't feel this way about the draft the year before that. So why you don't feel that way now? Because there's a difference.
You sure didn't feel that way in 2020. You got CD Lamb, you backdoored and got Diggs. Then you backdoored and got who else we get? Osa.
We drafted a bunch of players that everybody knew was going to be good, and guess what? Those players ended up being good. Trevon Diggs was a first-round pick that got drafted in the second round. Everybody knew he was going to be good. You know what I'm saying? All right, what do I think about the linebacker? I think he's good, but I think he's going to start off on special teams. That means he's not technically a linebacker right now for me. He's a special teamsman.
I think he's better than Jabril Cox.
Yeah, let's get it. I believe he's better than Jabril Cox too, as long as he can tackle. All right, but y'all, I'm out of here because I love you, man. Next time I see you, we will be in a training camp, covering training camp. And you know the dope thing about this is, since we were at draft, we're gonna go to training camp next, right? Training camp is the next step because these kids are on the team now. Over the next month, we're gonna accept the fact that they're Dallas Cowboys, and now we're gonna go to training camp and see if they can change our opinions of them. Because I have an opinion of some of these players. Now we get to go to training camp and see if they can change it. And guess what? Just like we brought you guys this first-hand content at the at draft, just like last year when I was at training camp and I told you guys about this young corner who was balling. He ended up being, DaRon Bland. We saw that here first on West Coast Cowboy. Make sure you guys are part of that because that's a part of the whole journey. You know what I'm saying? We were at the draft when DaRon Bland got drafted last year. I was at training camp watching him execute, and guess what? We watched him throughout the season. I saw the whole process. There's nothing you can tell me about DaRon Bland because I know myself. You know what I'm saying? I was there at training camp watching him. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you are a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I'll see you at next time I see you. Love you, cuz.
Love you too, cuz.
Next time I see you at training camp. And shoot, man, we'll get this thing popping. You guys already know what it is. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Damn Cowboys.